I'll talk a bit about some paradoxical effects of WW1 commemoration. You'll see immediately what I'm gonna talk about. So I focused on the commemoration of the First World War in the context of my thesis. It's just a specific part of my thesis, but you will see that this is connected to the wall. So I did a few studies on some different terrains, you will say that. One on the commemorations of the massacres of the civilians in Dinant. And this more anthropological, so we were interested in the songs people were singing, in the symbols displaying, and so on. I'm not going to talk about that now. We did another study in Liège-Guillemins, and the two bunches of studies, so there are 5 different studies. I'm going to talk about today are about an exhibition in Brussels, the temporal one, and the display of a few documentaries in laboratory. So I have to mention that I'm a psychologist, and so then my approach is supposed to be from psychology. Yeah. So my whole thesis is about the relationship between collective memory of the war and pacifist attitudes. And here we saw that I was also interested in the victimization issue, and we see that the more a society was victimized at the societal level, the more pacifist young students would be 100 years after, and the more they were victimized in their own family, the less pacifist they would be. So victimization that happens at two different levels of the society, the social, have totally antagonist effects on pacifist attitudes of young students. That actually, so it's at the European level in 20 countries, and they probably have no idea of their societal victimization, but we have some effects that are probably linked to the development of some ethos or some cultural memory. Yes, so we wanted to know if there would be an effect of the commemoration on pacifist attitudes, parallel to this effect of the memory. So what are we talking about? Yeah, pacifist attitudes. So attitudes in psychology, they are considered as a kind of evaluation of an external object. Like they can be more or less positive. Classically, well, it's a topic that has been studied for almost 100 years in our young discipline. That's kind of very old. Classically, attitudes toward peace and war, they are just considered like on a continuum, like militaristic attitudes versus pacifist attitudes. But they can be much more complex. New models consider that you can be both in favor of peace and in favor of war under some conditions, but you can also be in favor of peace and not at all in favor of war. So attitudes toward peace and war can be under some condition kind of independent. So commemoration, you all know that they have classical roles, a role of collective, of enhancement of collective identity. Here I'm talking about a kind of a Durkheimian approach, a tribute to the losses, but there is no a new emergent characteristic of many commemoration, that is the economical characteristic. So they are more and more varied, decentralized, moving, unprecedented, and they are characterized in Belgium by a kind of commemorative competition. You know this probably better than I do. You will see that I'm not focusing on the classical commemorative activities. Here I will present something that differs from collective gatherings, like Durkheim could consider them, and I'm going to focus on the visit of exhibitions. That to me is a new kind of commemoration, well, new. And the visualization of documentaries about World War. So, our idea was that as peace is a core value of the commemoration in Belgium, and especially in Flanders, we could, and that commemoration could be considered as providers of value. It's a very classical theory. We could expect that after the commemorative experience, people that participate in the commemoration would be more pacifist or more in favor of peace than people that do not participate and than before the commemoration. And here we think, well, as psychologists, we are often interested in the mechanism that could explain these changes, and we think that there could be a role of the narrative experience. Like here, it's more a communication theory. It is called a narrative persuasion. A role of the emotion and of the identification with some characters. Actually, when you want to change someone's attitudes, it is really easier to do it by the means of narration, or by narrating and by identification with some characters. So we expected that after the commemoration, people would be more pacifist. So we studied this on one exhibition in Brussels that was appealing to the emotions of the people, and that was also putting forward identification with some characters. Our participants were secondary school students. There was a group study on French speakers and a study on Dutch speakers. So the exhibition was multilingual. So we made 3 measures times, and I'm just gonna present results about 2 measures times. So 15 days before the exhibition, an experimenter went to their classroom and asked them to fill in questionnaires. A measure, and mainly a measure of pacifism. So 15 days after, they go to the exhibition, and at the end of the exhibition, they fill another questionnaire with the same scale. Okay. And 15 days after, they also fill the same question. The pacifist scale, attitudes toward peace and war scale, is composed of items like these ones. So I think it's important to show it. So the idea is that people have to answer on a scale that goes to strongly disagree to strongly agree to some items about their attitudes toward peace and war. And so when it is done, we have a kind of score, we aggregate it, and so we have a score of pacifism. So a few items are like the evils of war are greater than any possible benefits, or war breeds disrespect for human life. These are items that are about attitudes toward war, and there are other items about attitudes toward peace, like I believe that peace is extremely important, peace brings out the best qualities in society. And so that might sound a bit strange, but that's how we classically measure attitudes. Okay, so results. Actually, we were surprised. So here you see the mean level of pacifist attitudes before the commemoration for the Dutch-speaking group and for the French-speaking group, and you see it after the commemorative experience. And actually, instead of staying stable or increasing, it decreases. So yeah, that was a bit strange.
So people were less.
Yes, they were less pacifist after the commemorative experience. So yeah, so our hypothesis wasn't confirmed at all, and so we were a bit surprised, and we tried to understand that. And yeah, I didn't present the results after 15 days, but we could expect that it was just momentary. But after 15 days, actually, it stayed stable. So the decrease was stable. So we tried to explain that kind of unexpected results, and for that we based our reasoning on previous findings. And on a specific study we run, I just mentioned it before, and that emphasizes the role of victimization. And as I told you, we run a very huge study on more than 3,000 students in 23 European countries, and we just collected data about the amount of losses of their countries during the First World War. So, and it was a percentage of civilians and militaries. And we also asked them if they had an ancestor that died or suffered during the war. So you see here, it's just a loss or a victimization, but at two different levels of the society. I think none of them knew the level of, well, the percentage of victimization at the social level during World War I. And so, as I told you, what we saw is that there was a positive link between the level of victimization and the level of the society, and the pacifist attitudes 100 years after, and the negative link between the level of victimization in the home family and pacifist attitudes. And we think that there are these two mechanisms are explained by two different factors. The first is that the more a society has been exposed to the risk of anomie, this is another Durkheimian concept of threat, the more they have developed an ethos of reconciliation or a culture of that is favoring peace. And on the contrary, at the individual level, this didn't happen. And the fact that of identifying with a victimized ancestor might lead to less pacifist attitudes. So here, the idea was that we thought that in the exhibition, the displaying of characters that are victimized, because there were a few, would lead to a decrease of the level of pacifist attitudes. And we wanted then, after that, to control, well, to replicate these results, but in a more controlled environment. And so we moved to the laboratories, that is a more classical field of research in cognitive social psychology. And we ran two studies on two movies that were documentaries on World War I. And the main difference between the two documentaries were that there was one with a weak focus on victims and another one with strong focus on victims. And so we expected that the one with strong focus on victims would be followed by a decrease of the level of pacifist attitudes, and the one with weak focus would be followed by no evolution of pacifist attitudes. So here we used university students that were psychologists in the first or second years to measure times at the same scale. Okay? So the results actually seem to be in line with the new hypothesis. So in the case of the movie with a low focus on victims, we have no evolution, not at all, of the level of pacifist attitudes, while in the case of the movie with the higher level of emphasis on victims, we see a decrease of the level of pacifist attitudes. So we are not sure at all that this mechanism of identification with victims drives the decrease in pacifist attitudes, but well, we have some reasons to think that there is something going on there. So,
sorry, Pierre, 4 minutes.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So, what did we learn from these studies? So, effects of commemorations are sometimes paradoxical. We have to remember that the governments and the private sectors invested a lot of money in these commemorations, and that the core values, well, one of the core values is peace. And when we have that kind of unexpected results, that's kind of questioning. There's a potential influence of identification with victims, and you can consider that emotions and values are an explosive cocktails. And when you want to achieve kind of valuable goals, like putting forward the value of peace, but that at the same time you want to attract a lot of visitors, or well, to create a super real experience, you can have unexpected results. So I quickly have to speak about the limits. We have run a few studies, but our sample sizes are very, very limited. They are not representative at all of the population. We investigated only a few commemorative events, and the main limit for me is that we consider the commemorative experience as a kind of black box. We didn't follow the people during their commemorative experience, so we didn't especially know what happened. And so, what's next? So now I'm moving to this afternoon discussion. I want to, well, I will run probably three projects this year. So a new one on the comparison of two documentaries with secondary school students. Another one about video games, and the third one that is the most important, about a kind of phenomenological approach to commemoration. So yeah, I'm quickly going to talk about these ones. I'm gonna study the playing of Battlefield 1. That's a video game very well known. Millions of players play to this game, but really millions, and that it has probably a big influence on the way people represent World War I. And I think that it will have, or it has had, much more influence than many documentaries or commemorations or even lessons we could teach to students. And the phenomenological experience would be realized with the use of Google Glasses or something with a small camera and a microphone. So people could verbalize their experience during the commemorative event, for instance, on the 11th of November, and also with the measure of their heartbeat and galvanic skin conductance in order to see if they have emotional activation. Yeah, well, so that's it. I hope we'll be able to talk a bit about that after. Thank you.
Right. Thank you.